Sandy Hook Facts released Exhibit O, proving that K. Wilson and Halbig knew months in advance of the hearing that the pilot was going to be absent, and they took no action whatsoever to remedy that, or to ask for a continuance, or to do anything to facilitate the witness being there when he was available. Since I released that, proving Halbig knew and that Monty did not release this witness, Halbig has been backtracking, and now the entire Sandy Hook Justice Organization has fabricated an entire lie around this one exhibit. Let's look at the facts.
For disbelief. In addition, there is Wolfgang's FOIA proceedings, in which you seem to be, sometimes literally, right on top of. It is interesting to note how privileged you and your sources are. Perhaps it would be more productive if you could share your information with Wolfgang to help this process along. It would seem you knew about this Exhibit O before Wolfgang even did, and if I'm wrong, then please forgive me for being out of the loop. I can't help.
You're not out of the loop. You're out of your mind.
Asset to this investigation?
There's no way to know for sure. My thought was that he would certainly be able to give us corroborating or, dissuasive information, letting us know whether there was contact between Newtown Police Department and him. Because, the whole purpose of our request was to get any communications, and he was saying non-existent, so let's bring the pilot in and see if any exists, but...
And he was subpoenaed then?
He was subpoenaed.
And he was dismissed by Attorney Frank?
No, that's not what happened.
Oh, okay.
But
and he was subpoenaed then?
He was subpoenaed.
And he was dismissed by Attorney Frank?
No, that's not what happened.
Oh, okay.
Okay, tell us what happened, Kay Wilson.
He was subpoenaed, and I was contacted by a legal affairs attorney from the Department of Public Safety. She informed me that Sergeant McLean was actually away on duty, some sort of training for his, I guess he's still in the military or something, which isn't uncommon for a lot of police officers.
Yeah.
Oh, so Kay Wilson knew. What about Wolfgang?
I don't believe so.
Now, Wolf, aside from your personal satisfaction of the level of work that your attorney has done, whatever that may be, one thing I want to ask you about is the this talk about an Exhibit O. From my reaction of talking to you, it seemed like you didn't even know about it. Yet, do you find it suspicious that when the trolls online are going into details, as soon as you have that court meeting, they release this and immediately start going on about your incompetence?
Well, for the listeners who don't know what Exhibit O is, we had hearings before the Connecticut Freedom of Information Commission. We had a hearing officer, and the thing that we've learned is the rules that they adhere to, and every exhibit that is entered in has to be approved by both my attorney, which is the plaintiff, and the respondent's attorney. And only when both of us agree can we submit that into evidence. Then we had another hearing on June the 3rd, and I can tell you this, I looked at every document because they hand it to me, she hands it to me, Kay does. I look at it, I hand it to Monty Frank, and I can tell you this, that Exhibit O, it never came through my hands.
Other questions for him? We're going to just put this into the...
You want to check on him, we want him to read it.
All right. So...
Because last night they objected, now it's an official document.
So, Commissioner, I want to provide you with a copy. Last time, at the last hearing, I'm sure that Your Honor recalls, when I was working to get into the record the flight log from Trooper 1. Opposing counsel, of course, objected, and that it was not authenticated. So I did communicate with the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, and I subpoenaed the trooper, his name is Sergeant McLean. He was the pilot, to get this record authenticated. Unfortunately, Sergeant McLean was away on military service training. So this is a document that was provided to me, which is authenticated, and I'd like to hand that to you for your review. I don't have copies of that, but I can provide them to opposing counsel after the hearing if Your Honor permits me to.
He's got to read
Full
it.
exhibit or ID purposes?
Full exhibit.
I object.
Okay.
While getting a certified copy takes care of the authenticity problem, it does not take care of the hearsay problem. Without a witness testifying as to the contents of the document, it is hearsay. It is an out-of-court statement offered for the truth of the matter contained therein.
It's official document from the
It's an
state.
official document from the state of Connecticut, a sister agency to this commission, Your Honor. I think it's a question of weight rather than admissibility. So if Your Honor wants to give it the weight, Your Honor will afford it as commissioner. I think that you can give due weight to it as a sister agency, which is authenticated an official document.
Hearsay is hearsay.
What is the purpose of offering this for testimony, to rebut testimony?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to overrule the objection. I'll allow that to be submitted
Ask
as
him to
a
read it.
document, and, as you said, give it the way it deserves and see if you...
He's got it. He's already got a copy.
Okay.
First, let's mark the exhibit, and then we'll let the witness look at it.
Okay.
And this is in the...
461?
This is in 461. Yes, ma'am. Yep,
So it'd be,
461 regarding call logs between, it's 3B under that, yeah. So then, okay.
Yeah, I believe it is.
So you're marking.
Here's your cover letter.
Did you catch that? Halbig not only knew it, saw it, touched it, but directed that the exhibit be marked on the cover letter, Exhibit O.
So you're marking.
Here's your cover letter.
And I can tell you this, I looked at every document because they hand it to me, she hands it to me, Kay does. I look at it, I hand it to Monty Frank, and I can tell you this, that Exhibit O, it never came through my hands.
So you're marking.
Here's your cover letter.
I'm very concerned that Wolfgang's lies are now directed right at me to instill hatred and possibly even violence in my direction from his followers. Very concerned. This is slander.